The finals just got its brand new Season 4 update. I'm going to go over all the changes and break them down to you in a nice, concise way. Additionally, we also have some brand new releases, as well as some new Twitch drops, which will then lead us into some developer and community updates. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? This is Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the final. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. We're getting the Season 4 patch as well as the patch notes. Now, usually we do jump into Oscar's version of the patch notes or the opening statement. However, there's nothing here for us to really cover because we're going to talk about it all in the patch notes. So jumping over to the actual patch notes opener, well, they go on to say here that Season 4 is going to bring us some brand new exciting content, and those new features we'll talk about, from sleek Urban Fortune Stadium map sponsored by Hoto, Engimo, and Isolt, to 3 powerful new weapons. There's plenty to dive into. And we have those brand new sponsors as well as new sponsor contracts, allowing players to sign up for one of those 3, with new World Tour ranks and even an improved ranked cash out. Going over some of these very briefly because we've talked about a lot of this stuff and you've seen it from my other videos, as well as just the showcase in general. Of course, we have the new map, those 3 new weapons we talked about, which is the Akimbo 50, the 5.56, and the M26 Matter. We also have that brand new feature for sponsors. I do actually have a video breaking down everything with the sponsors and showing you all customization unlocks. If you want to check that out, that's on my channel. There's no way to actually inspect all of them. The only way I was able to showcase to you guys the actual sponsors from each perspective was with the help of my teammates that were in the preview event with me. So again, thank you to Linksy and Legend for that. I really do appreciate that. But again, that video is on my channel if you want to check it out. Of course, we have the new alternative sites. Also have a video with that on my channel, so if you want to see all weapons with all new sites, what weapons have new sites, which don't. I do cover that in a video, and I'll include the document link that Linksy did make. He put that one together so you can check out everything there. We also got some brand new World Tour ranks, and as they do mention here, Season 4 Emerald will now be unlocked and available to you to earn from the beginning of the season, and it will be earned with win points, not tournament wins. So you should have some more fun there and a little bit easier way to climb through the Emerald tier. Of course, new ranked mode, or realistically we have the ranked mode back, which is cash out. So ranked tournaments are back this season with the same format, 8 team, 24 player. There is quite a big change here though, and this does differentiate from World Tour as well as the ranked mode. So in ranked tournaments, the 10% wipe penalties are going to be active. Of course, this is down from 30%, which we've had with previous seasons. However, they've also removed game show events such as low gravity. These were disabled due to randomness, and loadout changes are now only permitted between the rounds of the tournaments. While in World Tour, team wipe penalties are completely disabled. Game show events are still going to be enabled though with World Tour. And another change that we saw during the preview was that players are able to swap from the reserve into the loadout between team wipes and between rounds. So definitely quite the massive change there with World Tour, being able to swap your loadouts when you do get a team wipe or receive a team wipe. They also do mention that they will be changing World Tour experience in various ways throughout the season. Of course, we got some new improved player cards. I went over all of those in another video as well. The updated circuits, again, I did cover that in that same video. They have 2 extra loadout slots, the new battle pass, and the new career levels, which I also did showcase in that customization video. Leaderboards, however, did get some improvements here where you can now filter by region, and World Tour leaderboards also include filters for different tour stops. They have a brand new static crosshair setting. The default crosshair, as we know in the finals, is dynamic crosshair that often will move as your character animates. However, there's now an option for an in-world crosshair which you can turn off. That will create a true static crosshair that stays center in the screen at all times. We do have those brand new facial hair customizations. Again, that's also in my customizations video. And that brand new tutorial they mentioned here. There's one notation here, and there's been some developer updates with this. Season 3 rewards have not been distributed yet. So as they mentioned here, normally all ranked rewards are delivered at the start of the next season. However, this time around they want to delay because they want to sweep through the leaderboards and ensure that all players have earned the rewards fair and square. Obviously with Ruby ranked and Emerald ranked being very kind of rare there and hard to achieve, they want to make sure that everybody got that fair and square without boosting or any other stuff like that. You will be able to receive that reward by update 4.2. Once they do some last checks on that and make sure that's all good to go. That's really good to hear. I'm glad about this because people that do buy boosts, things like that, or even just obviously exploit and cheat, really don't deserve that reward there. So I'm glad that they're going to be going through that to make sure that people got it through fair play. We also got that brand new Season 4 starter pack. So as always, if you need a lot of multi-bucks, you should buy the starter pack as it is the best deal there. Jumping into it, we have the major details here with the balance changes, what's going on there with that. So the biggest controversial one is the notes on heavy. There's been a lot of players that have been frustrated with lights, saying they're too overpowered. People have said heavy's too overpowered. What is it? What is the dev stats? What is the back end statistics there? where they go over here to say that light is the most played class and heavy is the least played class at the end of season 3. However, they found that heavy is by far the most winning of all 3 archetypes, and light is the most losing. Their intent there is to get all archetypes around the same win rate, where they say when it comes to heavy, they need to work through a process of both making it more balanced in terms of power and making it more fun to play. It's an ongoing process, but there's underlying thought processes there. Now, I've seen some comments on this, people saying that light is picked the most, but it's also picked the most by solo players. So that might also be why we see such a low win rate for lights, whereas heavy is more of a team player and offers more dynamic with the teams. I will say, while that is true, I do understand their philosophy with trying to get those a little bit closer. I don't think heavy archetype is ever going to have a lower win rate than light, but I could also see it being much closer, as they say here, trying to get that dynamic play there and have it more fun. Hopefully they do figure out that adjustment there. I'm not exactly sure what they could do. If you guys have any suggestions on that, trying to get those win rates closer, maybe give them some feedback and some ideas on this. Hopefully that does help, though, kind of getting those in line with certain balances. Jumping over, we have the actual changes. What's different with Season 4? All the different adjustments. Gonna break these down somewhat quick so we can get through these. For Gadget section here, the anti-grav cube had its radius increased to 7 meters and height increased to 12 meters. I'll showcase a bit of that as it is quite higher. Breach charge had its ammos increased to 3 and cooldown increased to 30 seconds. Data Reshaper ranged increased 21 meters and charges now to 3. Explosive Mine max damage decreased to 120 while the cooldown decreased to 15 seconds and ammo to 1. They said that Flashbang was heavily underused and it had the biggest change here with the max blind duration being increased to 4.5 seconds, and its hit detection was also increased and improved. Glitch Trap had its ammo decreased to 1 while its cooldown decreased to 20 seconds. Jump Pad added the variance to prevent indefinite bounces, and Proximity Sensor got its radius increased to 11 meters. For fire rate, we had a pretty major change here to RPG, decreased down to 100 damage, and it had its reload time increased to 2.15. I know there's gonna be some controversy on that, but I really do think that these are good changes, especially for the RPG. It just seemed a little bit too overpowered overall. Tracking Dart had its magazine size increased to 4 and its tracking duration decreased to 10 seconds, while 9.3R had some pretty decent changes here. Fire rate increased to 220 RPM and it improved the aiming stability. You'll also see some of that recoil adjustment there, or the adjustments there overall. AKM magazine got decreased down to 32. The CL40 max damage increased to 117 and fire rate decreased down to 210. So obviously more damage but lower fire rate. Both Dagger and Throwing Knife had where you can now hold down the button, or at least your heavy attack or secondary attack, you can now hold it down. I believe this also applies to Sledgehammer, but it wasn't listed here. Lewis Gun now has a smoother recoil pattern, and the LH1 had its damage fall off start at 50 meters and ended at 55. And as I mentioned here, it does have a scope, so there is some adjustments there with that. The M60 also saw a nice recoil pattern adjustment, and its RPM increased. The MGL32 had its reload time decreased from 3.1 to 2.8. Recurve bow feels really good now. It increased the damage at minimum draw, and it decreased the damage ramp-up start time from 0.2 to 0.15, as well as decreased the time taken to reach the maximum draw from 0.58 to 0.49. It does feel a lot better this time. Riot Shield also saw a slight buff up from 84 to 90. The SH1900 shotgun saw a decrease to its reload time from 2.5 to 2.125. Spear got a unique change here. It increased its run speed modifier during its second spin attack from 65 to 75%, so you can move a little bit faster there. Some unique changes for the SR84. It's a hit scan up to 40 meters. After this point, the shot becomes a projectile with bullet drop from gravity and drag. This is to help it being so oppressive in modes like Terminal Attack and Power Shift, so we should see some nice changes in Power Shift there. The sword is now more accurate, and its secondary lunge can be held, of course. The XP54 did have a decrease from 18 to 16 damage. Jumping over quickly, or kind of jumping back to the cash out mode stuff, the final round of a tournament will now be 50,000 in total required to win, where each cash out will now reward 25,000. Gonna help some of that cash out leaderboard stuff and other statistics. There was some pretty big changes for specializations, where the dematerializer improved the targeting to reduce the amount of times the dematerializer fails to make a passageway through objects. We also saw that it does have a larger range now and can select more in one go. The goo gun firing mode was changed from semi-auto to full automatic now. Healing beam had its health rate from 50 per second down to 40 per second. They made it now where mesh shield will now enter cooldown either when destroyed or lowered. It was intended as a specialization to use to shield teammates or represent the heavy archetype toughness. However, they felt that juggling of the shield, constantly raising and lowering the fire weapons, was hard for some players to understand and frustrating to play against. This is a significant change to this, so they're going to monitor this, obviously, which, yeah, I don't think this is going to be taken much anymore. However, they did decrease the cooldown of it from 15 to 12 seconds, and the cooldown is only 8 seconds if the shield is undamaged when deactivated. I think if anything, maybe they should add a delay so you can't spam it, but this overall is quite a significant change. That does cover for the patch notes side of things. There are a ton of little changes here and little bug fixes. If you want to see all those, I'll link to the patch notes down below. If I read out all of them, we'll be here forever though. One last major change here, at least in my opinion, is that players will now connect to levels faster without waiting for other players who have not yet loaded. As a result, players will reach the lobby much faster, and we'll see connecting players represented as a hologram. We saw that in the preview event, and that is a pretty unique change. Jumping over to the developer updates as well as the community stuff. First up here, we do have those Twitch drops. So if you wanted to get now, you can get a center stage emote. Really happy about this, that they're adding some nice stuff here instead of just weapon charms. And 2 new skins, one for the shield, the Engimo Signal Flux Shield, and the Engimo Signal Flux Dart. Really liking these rewards this time. These are one of the better Twitch drops, and I will definitely be trying to get these as well. Which I may potentially be streaming later today after this video, or sometime when this video goes live. So if you want to check that out, you can get them through me. I'll link down below to my Twitch channel, as well as to the YouTube live stream. I'll put in a pinned comment. Another mentionable here is that the finals did release its Season 4 original soundtrack. Now, so far, I've located it on the YouTube side of things, and it is over on YouTube for you to just listen to freely. However, if I do end up finding the Spotify link as well as the Apple Music link, I will put those down below in the description, so that way you can have multiple ways to access the music. As of right now, this is where I found it so far, and it is really cool to see that it is over on YouTube. There is one last dev mentionable here. Currently, around 20% of players are not able to enter practice range. They're currently working on a solution with that, so if you're having issues there entering practice range, just know that other people are having issues there. It does seem like this is only for a select few players, but there is that there overall. Last up here, as always, we have the community mentionables. Or first off, as I said, I was going to do a giveaway with Season 4, where I'm not only going to give away some codes today, I'm also going to be doing a future giveaway very, very soon. The reason being is Embark has actually provided me with some codes to give away to you guys. So I have 3 codes that are going to be up for grabs. And then the next giveaway, I was going to do 4 Battle Pass codes or 4 Battle Pass gift cards. So be sure to watch out for that as well. However, if you want to enter in my giveaway, they are going to be hosted through the Discord. This allows me a good RNG system and a way to DM people their codes. Again, make sure you're not receiving a DM from anyone else. It has to be from my Utopia TTV Discord. I'll showcase what my Discord actually looks like so you can see the username and all. I'll leave a link down below to the Discord itself, where I will be hosting that in the giveaway channel of the Discord. So be sure to enter there. It's fairly simple. You just click a button and enter in. There's nothing with Gleam or anything like that, just in my Discord. Moving on though, where we do have our star model features or our finals runways features from my Discord. This one here is, I believe, the highest we've had so far of likes, or at least fire emotes, by Aramis, who is calling this the Finals Mirrors Edge cosplay. This one is really cool. Again, I love when people try to mirror other cosplays or from other mediums. It's really close to the real thing and the real deal, so really liking this one. I know you guys will too. And we have this feature here by Chescake, who's showing off that brand new tier 106 helmet from last season. These colors absolutely mirror each other so well and dynamically. It almost looks like this set goes together in the store, so some very cool customizations with that one. Overall though, that's about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.